I just hope I don't regret this video. What's up, guys? This is Joey Wisdom back again with a Tinder story. This story is a little bit more serious. Wait, no, who am I kidding? It's a serious type of Tinder story because it's just different. I keep thinking if I should upload this and talk about it, but you know what? I know that people love the juicy stuff. I know people always wonder about me and if I ever get into these situations, and I do. This is a Tinder story, and it started, I'm gonna say, last year. I think it was between August or September, maybe. But I know I was taking this film production class, and I was on Tinder, and I met this guy. I don't know what we should call him. Let's call him Mr. Prideful. We were texting each other, and first of all, like, I didn't think too much of it, obviously. He seemed like the kind of guy that he was like intimidating to me because, I mean, hey, good looking guy and everything, whatever. So we started texting each other, and then he wanted to meet me. So I was like, I don't know if I should meet this guy. And so I kind of was just like putting it off. Whatever. We decided to meet, I think, for a movie. We went to go see, yeah, it was The Visit. And mind you, I don't like scary movies. But he didn't want to tell me what movie we were going to watch until we got into the theater. But when it came to that movie, I just ended laughing the whole time because just the way the movie was done, I thought it was really silly and goofy, and it was really funny, more than scary. I remember that time I really had a good time meeting someone and seeing a movie. I laughed so much, and we actually clicked. After that, we kept talking, we kept texting each other. It wasn't all that serious. Probably until maybe 2 months later, where we kept watching movies together. He basically became like my movie friend. It's crazy how as months passed by, we got to know each other in a more, I guess I could say, a more vulnerable way, but not a vulnerable way. It's just so weird. I don't think I've ever met anyone that, I don't want to say weird because he's not weird, but I want to say just different. I don't know. I've never met a guy just so different. It's crazy. We kind of had we do. I'm talking like he's dead, but we had the same personality. We like the same things, like YouTube. We were both introverted. Well, we both had trust issues. Well, I can only, talk about myself really, but we clicked in that sense where we didn't talk to many people. We always kept to ourselves, and we clicked in that sense. And then this is where it started getting very, very confusing for me. Mind you, I was still seeing other people. I was still dating other people because I don't like to be caught up onto one guy, one guy friend. But, as the months passed, I was getting more attached, and I can tell you why I became more attached to him. We started getting close. He started calling me every single freaking day, and that made things worse for me. Sometimes I wouldn't even answer the phone because I was like, this is not good for me. I was getting attached to him, and this could lead to something more. So I started getting confused because I don't know in what, I don't know how he saw me as. So I sometimes would ask him questions. It was just, I felt like I was misled in the friendship because he would say things in the beginning that kind of made me think that he wanted more from the relationship. But then when it came to a point where I asked him questions, he said he didn't know what I want. But me too. I said I didn't know what I want in the beginning because I wanted more time to figure out what I wanted. Anyway, so in the beginning, we would talk every day. It came to a point where we would talk on the phone every night and ended up falling asleep on the phone. Who does that? I've never done that ever with a guy. And so I started asking myself questions like, what am I doing? Is this even normal? What best friends does that shit? It kind of felt like a boyfriend, what boyfriends do, but without being a boyfriend. Mind you, we never had anything intimate. We never kissed. We never had sex. None of that shit. So I think it was a friendship for almost a year. Not even a year. Probably 6 months, 7 months, something like that. So in the beginning of our friendship, I remember he told me, like, this was before December. I think around December I was starting to get attached, where he was like, but see, I don't know if it was part of his stupid fucking game where he was like, oh, by December I want your heart. So that could mean anything. Obviously, that's, to me, that's like a guy trying to keep a girl. But I didn't get much from him. Dude, he came to my house to drop off a gift. And I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but on back of it, it said his name, whatever I called him, loves you. Isn't that like the most frustrating thing? Like, isn't that like a mindfuck? Like, obviously you're gonna have feelings over that shit. And maybe it's very childish, but getting that type of attention is rare. We'd hang out, he never made a move, and I'm not one to initiate things. The only way that I could ever initiate something, like a kiss or something, is if I already knew that he liked me and that he told me that he liked me. But that never happened. You could say I miss you, you could say I love you, and he did both, and he called me every single day. I knew that he cared, but that whole, you know, do I have feelings for you, that never came about. So that had me confused the whole freaking time. I realized that I did fall in love with him, but towards the end. Everything was cool. I even met his like best friends from Florida, and it was really cool. It was sweet. And my coworkers knew about him. My cousin knew about him. And it was like, oh, so who's this guy? When am I going to meet this guy? But I was like, no, but it's not serious. So I don't think that can ever happen, because he was very introverted. He did his own shit. I let him do his own shit. I wasn't one to be like, where are you going and who you're with. It wasn't like that, because I always wanted, the thing is, like, if I really, really like someone, I will respect them. In the sense as like, I'm not gonna hurt their feelings. I'm not gonna be controlling. Who wants that? So I let him do whatever he wanted. I mean, because who was I? I was never a girlfriend. You know, I was just wanted to be a friend. And I just wanted to be there for him. I think he was very difficult in that sense of like him expressing how he felt, and especially expressing how he felt about me. Even if he only saw me as a friend, I wish he would have told me in the beginning. I kind of did some fucked up shit too, where I just dated other guys. And I guess I made it seem like I wasn't interested in him. But obviously, if I love talking to you every day and, you know, hanging out with you, you'd kind of figure that, you know, I really like you. But, you know, I never said it, and that's where my pride comes and my ego comes. I will not tell you how I feel unless you tell me how you feel about me. So after, you know, all those months talking and everything, you know, he became important to me. He was part of my everyday life, and obviously when you talk to someone almost every single day, you're gonna get attached. Once I told him that I was attached to him, then he reciprocated and said that he was attached to me, which, you know, it was a great feeling. I took it as like, all right, cool, no big deal, don't go crazy, you know, like, why? Keep being the person that you are, Joey. Respect him for who he is, and that's it. So this is how the friendship ended. Thing is, I would never say things to hurt someone, you know. I started mentioning my girl cousin because she's basically like my sister. At the time, she was single. You know, she was dating guys too, and so we were into the same situation of dating, and she was trying to give me advice and I'm trying to give her advice. Yeah, fucking right. You know, I'm the one who's not in a relationship at this very moment. But I started mentioning Mr. Prideful about my cousin, and so he started saying, oh, well, let me meet her. And I was like, why would you want to meet her? For what? And so he said, we had a conversation on the phone where he goes, you don't know if we'll hit it off. So that kind of just like a little jealous, obviously, because, you know, it's my cousin, but whatever. This is the part that really irritated me and hurt me, where he said, you'd be so mad if me and your cousin hit it off. You'd be so mad. And I think he repeated it like 2 or 3 times. He was on the phone and he said, hold on. Once he said, hold on, I was like, you know what? It made me realize that I was wasting my time with this guy this whole time, just waiting and waiting for something to happen. And I wasn't gonna get that. I felt like he just wanted attention the whole time, and I felt like he felt alone and he just needed me because he had no one else. That's when I realized that, you know, if a person really cares for you, they wouldn't say that type of shit to hurt you. And even if you wanted to date someone, why does it have to be my cousin? Why can't it be some other girl? Why do you have to fuck with a family member? And saying that too, like, I don't get it. Like, oh, you'd get so mad if we'd hit it off. What's the point of saying that? Was it to just, like, you know, obviously he wanted to push my buttons. And he did. But not in a way of me going off on you or yelling at you, because I never wanted to cross that line with him or with anyone. So, you know what? I just hung up the phone and I was like, you know what? You say some stupid shit sometimes, and go find a new friend. He like called me back, like, I don't know how many times. And like, he basically went off on me and called me names. And that's when I knew that when a person just wants to hurt you and they don't care that they hurt you, that's when you know that on and it's not worth it. So I mean, that happened. I cried a little. I did. I cried a little because it's kind of like, damn, another friendship lost. But you know, it's, things happen and you learn from that. I learned that I'm not gonna be cold-hearted over that situation because I fell for the guy. I think the whole time it was just, I felt like emotionally manipulated. And that term didn't come by until someone else told me about it. They're like, no, he's emotionally manipulating you and that's not right. He does boyfriend things and he doesn't even tell you how he feels about you. But you know, you're there, you know, on the phone the whole time, just waiting, accustomed to him calling you, and that's not right. Like, if nothing is gonna come from that, then especially when they don't tell you how they feel. And even if I was friend zoned, please tell me. So that's that. No, I have not spoken to him, and no, I don't plan on speaking to him ever again, because there is no point. And that's the tea for the day. That friendship did make an effect on me, on a good way and a bad way. What I've learned from that friendship is that I can still care for someone. There are people that truly care about me. I'm really grateful for the people that, you know, care for me and that love me. I'm happy. I'm really grateful. I can be a little jackass sometimes, but I do have a good heart. And I never want to be taken for granted. I never want my friendship to be taken for granted. And that's the thing that I think hurts the most, is that people forget that, you know, I was there. I could have not answered your call, you know, and ignored you. That's my Tinder story. I don't think I'll ever do something like that. I don't know. Shit happens. Those are the juicy details of that friendship. I've learned that people come and go, and you don't know someone until you piss them off or hurt. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you love these stories. Leave a comment. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for letting me know in person that you like these Tinder stories. Subscribe, and thank you for watching. Peace. It's a revolution.